We'll start the recording and we'll start the session where we left. Let me know if my screen is visible to you, Aisha. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. So there are around 30 to 40 different topics are there. Okay. So we will look into the topics that we will be discussing. Okay. Today, what we will be discussing today is the data models and BCUI. Okay. And tomorrow we will see what is foundation objects and MDF. Okay. So it will cover lot of training, teaching, and everything in this. Okay. So yes, let me go ahead and first discuss what is data models and what is BCUI. Okay. So just to give a simple explanation, okay, what is data models and what is BCUI? Okay. Yes. Just a second. I have to open a whiteboard. I will rather open a paint. Yes. My screen is visible to you. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Is my screen visible?
Yeah. White screen is visible.
Okay. Yes. I have written what is data model for understanding. Okay. Now, if I can tell you, there are four types of data models. Okay. There are four types. Okay. Basically, the first that we have what we call as a succession data model. Okay. And the second what we call as sorry, data model. Okay. And we have another third as country specific succession data model. And we have country specific corporate data model. Okay. Now we will understand what is these four types of data models. Okay. Succession data model is nothing but self details or employees personal details. Okay. Corporate data model is nothing but companies or organizations details. Okay. Now, so just to understand, see, succession data model, when I say it is related to something you say, for example, Aisha, now, if I can ask you, you are working in a company. What are the details that you will provide to the company?
The basic information like name, age, everything will be there, and
Okay.
your
Okay.
previous experiences,
Okay. What else?
and your education details,
Okay.
experience details.
Experience details. Yes. Okay. So anything that is related to you, say for example, your first name, your last name, your marital status, your previous experience, your blood group, your home address, your if you're staying in India, it's Aadhaar card that you have, and you have your PAN card, you have anything that is related to you. That is called as self details or employees' personal details is called a succession data model. Okay. Anything that is related to your personal information, let it be even dependents. Okay. Say, for example, your husband, your kids, okay, or anyone that is related to you. Okay. So anyone who is related to you, it is personal information. That is known as succession data model. Okay. And now coming to corporate data model. What is corporate data model? Corporate data model is nothing but the details or I would say, the company provides anything to the employee. Okay, let it be the user ID. The company provides you the user ID. The company provides you the password and password. It provides you the job code. It provides you the pay scale. It provides you the your pay grade. It provides you the location. Okay, it provides you the cost center. It provides you with anything that is related to the company or organization to you. Okay, say for example, I am an employee in the company. All my personal information is succession data model. Okay, anything that the company is giving to me is the corporate data model. You're understanding?
You're understanding?
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Okay. So succession data model, what is succession data model, if I can ask you in simple terms?
Um, Succession, like we discussed, like name, personal details, and everything.
Okay.
Um, and corporate data modules are like ID numbers and your bank account details or something like IDs and the information which our company gives us.
Any information that the
Any
company
company.
provides. Okay. One example of succession data model.
Our details, personal details from
Ye-
name, date of birth, or graduate education details and organization experience details, everything.
Absolutely. One example of corporate data model.
It will be like the company ID proofs, IDs, email IDs,
Yes.
and
Location, job locations. Okay. All these things. Okay. I understand. Okay. We have one more. Salaudin, can you hear us? Your voice is breaking. Have you understood what is succession data model, corporate data model? Absolutely, absolutely, yes. So we have covered two types of data models. Now let us come to country specific succession data model. What do you mean by country specific succession data model? In the sense, as we know, succession data model is nothing but personal information or self details or our self or personal details. When I say I mean when I say country specific, okay, it means to say that, say for example, if a company, say for example Pepsi or Coca-Cola, any of these big companies, they are operating in different countries. Okay. So I am from India and one more person is from USA. Okay. So my personal details will be completely different from his personal details. So we need to have all these information available in the system. Then we can configure it in such a way that all the personal information of the person who is living in India or USA or from UK or UAE or Saudi or Australia or any part of the world that he's saying, his personal information can also be related into this. How, for example, if I can tell you what one example of country specific succession data model is, Aadhaar card, for example, is my personal information, which is succession data model. Okay. When you go to Saudi, you have Iqama. When you go to USA, you have a social security number. Okay. It is the same thing with different. You have green cards, you have different government IDs that are, but something that is related to you. This is country specific succession data model. Okay. Have you understood country specific succession data model? You understanding?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now let's move to what is country specific corporate data model. We know what is corporate data model, the company or the organization details or which is providing it to an employee or an user. Okay, now the country specific, it is the same thing. Say for example, if a company is located in USA, UAE or some other part, and they have branches in other parts, in other countries also. For example, in India, and they have it in KSA, USA, or UAE. Now the country specific example is location. Okay, location of the company. One location is in India, another location is in Saudi or in Riyadh. I mean, any part of the world that they can have. Okay, example is location. Okay, so these are the four types of succession data models which SAP provides. Okay, what are the four different types of data model? Because this is also an interview question, this is also your examination certification questions also. Okay, there were other succession data models also, but now it has reduced to four. So let us not confuse which is not there. We will focus on what is in the present and what it is used for us. Okay, we have succession data model, which is self details, what we call are the personal details. We have corporate data model, which is the companies or organization details for an employee. We have country specific succession data model. As an example, we have in USA, we have social security. In India, we have Aadhaar card. Okay. Country specific corporate data model is nothing but the country wise. Example is location. Location of a company is in India and the company location is in USA. So the four types of data models, is it clear? Any doubts?
No.
Salahuddin, any doubt? Okay, let's move on. Okay. Now we have seen what is data models. Okay. How this data model is provided by SAP. Okay. And how it does and what are the data models, different data models. Okay. This is the one booklet which covers complete information on SAP SuccessFactors data models. Okay. What are the different data models? Okay. If I can just go, because it's a vast information, if you can look into this. Okay. What we were looking first is the employee data or organization data. Okay, employee data is nothing but the succession data, and organization data is nothing but the corporate data models. Okay, we have corporate data model, we have country specific corporate data model, we have succession data model, we have country or region specific succession data models. So these are the four types of data models. Okay, this information, this guide or information, I'll share it with you. You can go through it, but it has a lot of information. But what I will do it to you is I'll give all the necessary information that is there for you to use it, because it covers a lot of things which are not necessary at this point of time. Okay, it is not even used in the projects also, but it is just for the example that the SAP is provided, if in case if you need this. Okay, so this information I'll share it with you. Okay, what happens basically is we have two things. As soon as a client, okay, now we have understood this. Okay, now what we will do is, sorry, we will see what is provisioning and instance. Actually, are you making notes of this?
Yes, I'm noting it down.
Yes, Salahuddin, are you writing this down? Please make a note because it will help you. Okay. Provisioning is nothing but the back end of the system. Okay. And the instance is nothing but the front end, or what we call it as UI, that is user interface. Okay. I'll show you how the back end looks, and I'll show you how the front end of the system looks. Okay. What happens is, I'll show you the front end of the software, how it looks. Oh, Is this visible?
Yes.
Yes, okay. This is the front end of the application or the software which you're using as SAP SuccessFactors Employee Central. Okay. And you just have to go to my employee file and all the information that you have. Okay. As we were seeing, you have first name, you have last name, you have nationality. Okay. You have salutation, your genders. Okay. And these are all your succession data models, your first name information and everything. Okay. You have your country, your birth, your, what do you say? Country specific details which are available in the employment session, that is your hire date, your job information, your pay grade, your contract, your job classification. Okay, what is your employee type? Okay, and your class, what are your eligibilities? Okay, these are all basically nothing but the corporate data models which are there. Okay, so how we get all this information, how we make the changes. Okay, right side we can make the changes. Okay, these are the information that you have to basically input all the details. But how we get all these information which is there in the left side, what it does is SAP nothing but what it does is, as soon as I'll open one more tab for the better understanding. Okay, I have a PPT, I'll share it with you, that will help also. Sorry, let's not do this way. Okay. We have SAP Labs, or it is called SAP organization. This is the first thing that we have. Okay. And we have client or customer. We have partner or consultant. Okay. So what basically happens is, the client, when he wants anything, what he does is he'll go to SAP Labs. Okay. Aisha, my screen is visible to you?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, say for example, the client, he wants to have SAP SuccessFactors Employee Central as a software on his company. So the client, what he does is he will go to SAP Labs and he will tell that I want to purchase the software. So SAP, what they do is they will provide three links to him. Okay, what are the three links that they give? The number one is, after the payment and everything, they give sorry, the number one, what they give us, they will provide development. Second is preview or testing. And the third that they give us for production. Okay. What are the basic differences? So the client has paid the money and the SAP has provided these three links along with username and password. All these three links. Okay. So basically what happens is, when you get all these three information, these three links, once you get these three links along with username and password, and then what he will do is he will pass on this information to the implementation partner. So the implementation partner, what he'll do is he will log into the system and he will start developing. Once he has developed everything, he will preview or he will do the test in the testing site. If not, if he is confident and if he is an experienced implementation partner and consultant, he will directly go to the production. He will not go to preview and testing. Okay, and he'll move on directly to the production. What happens in the production, in the sense is, it's the final, what we see production, go live, okay, and everything. In the development, what happens is, how he has to develop and everything is, once the client, he has given this links and username and password, the client will have a meeting. What they call it as, very, very important term that they use is the kickoff meeting for workbook. Kickoff meeting, workbook. Okay. Now we will see what is a kickoff meeting for workbook. Okay, what happens is there is a workbook which is in Excel format. Okay, it provides you all the information. We will see what kind of workbook it is, just for the sake of understanding as an example. Okay, we will go to employee. Okay, so is this visible?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, see, just for the sake of understanding. Okay, so you can see this, what is the status, you can see the user ID, your username, your first name, your nickname, your middle name. Okay, can see your middle name, your last name, your suffix, your title, gender, email, manager, human, department, job code, division, location, all this information. And you have some custom portlets or custom fields also, which you can customize it as per the requirement of the client. So what happens is, it is just for the sake of understanding, the workbook, it has all the complete information in the Excel or the CSV format in the Excel. Okay, so it gives the headlines. Okay, say if I can just, without this information, it will just copy this, and if I paste it here, so the client will have something workbook like this. So they can have the status as active or inactive, user ID starting from 112233, whatever is that they want to start it, but the username, the last name, because all the details that the client will provide it to you. So once the client has provided all the information, what you will do is you will start developing the system. And once you have developed it, you will preview or you will test that, and then you will move to the production. Okay. If you are an experienced person, you can move directly from development to the production. You have understood this? It's a basic startup or the kickoff concept, how it happens. The client, he pays, and the SAP will provide three links. That is, one is development, preview or testing, and production, and along with username and password. And then they'll have a kickoff meeting for workbook. And in the workbook, the client, I mean the consultant or an implementation partner, he will explain to the client what all the information that is available in the workbook that you have to fill, and you have to give it to us. So he will fill all the details and everything, he will pass on to us. And once he does that, you will start developing it. Okay, once you develop it, and then you test it or you preview whatever you have developed, and then you move on to the production. Or if you're an experienced person, from the development you can move to the production. Okay.
So this basically kickoff meeting is, sorry to interrupt.
No, no,
This
no,
kickoff
yes,
meeting is yeah, this kickoff meeting will be between the client and the implementation consultant, right?
yes, yes,
Okay, so to just get the information.
yes,
And
because
then this information is conveyed to the SAP labs or in order to implement.
no, 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 only the SAP labs. they come into picture only two times. Okay, once if the client wants to purchase the software. Say for example, if I
Mhm.
can give you a very easy example, okay, if you're a constructing home, okay, you will take
Okay.
approvals from any government body, but once you have taken the approval, you will give the contract, or you will give the building contract to a building contractor. So you will not go back again to the people. They will ask what it is and how this is, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you're just going there to take server access, or I can say the data centers accesses. Okay, because it's a cloud-based software. Implementation partner cannot provide you. Say for example, if you have built any domain or website, you have to take a domain, or you have to take hosting also from the uh, different domains. You have hosting centers, you have websites like GoDaddy, you have wherein you can take the domain. You want to take it from .com, .in, or anything. It is the same thing that you take it from SAP, the data centers access, and the implementation partner builds on that website. Okay, so
Okay.
once this is the first time SAP Labs comes into the picture. Second is, if you're facing any issue in the server or any data center, then as a client, or if you still have a contract with implementation partner, they will reach out to SAP Labs and they'll say, hello, if there is any issue in the server, the system is really very slow, what is happening? It's like Facebook. Okay, you have created, or somebody has made all the configuration and your photos and everything. If it is not happening, you'll write to the Facebook why the server is down, why this is not working, what is happening. So they'll reply. So you have understood
Okay.
this?
Yes, yes, got it.
Got it.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So now what happens is that you have understood what is data models. There are four types of data models. We have succession, we have corporate, we have country specific corporate data model, country specific succession data models. Okay. So what we see the difference in the data centers and how it happens is SAP provides all the data models. Okay. In the provisioning, I will show you the access of the provisioning in the next session. Okay, in the provisioning, we have import and export of data models. Okay, I'll show it in the next class how the import of and export of the data models it happens and everything. Once you just have to import, because you have to first export it from SAP, then you have to import it in the website, the username that you enter it. Once you do that, all the information can be visible from here. Yes, are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Yes. Now we have discussed data models, and now we will discuss what is BCUI basically. BCUI is nothing but BCUI is nothing but business Asian user interface. Okay, so for example, there are two things what happens here. Okay, employee file. Can you see this personal information, my information, biographical information here? Okay,
Yeah.
say if you want the first name, last name, nationality, whatever it is, it's in the personal information. What you do is, we will go one by one. What is, there is something called as personal information which is available here. Can you see this personal information? If you want, I'll
Yes.
increase my screen.
No, no, it is.
Okay, we will go to personal information. Okay, in the personal information, what we have first name, we have last name, nationality, all these things. Okay, in the first name, as you can see here, if we can edit this, you see this first name, the red color mark.
Mm-hmm.
This means this is mandatory. Red is mandatory. Nationality, gender, all these things are mandatory. Okay. Now, what we will do is we will make changes here. How we will make, you can see this, you have enabled, you have made it mandatory. We will do no. We will see different examples. Confirm the automatic change. Field name as mandatory. Yes. Mandatory. Sorry, we are making it no. Okay. Okay, the string is enabled. Okay, done. We'll take another example. What we'll do is we will refresh it. Okay, what we did basically is the first name is hard coded. I'll tell you what is hard coding and everything. The first name, because it has to be visible. Okay, but what we have done basically is, because as you know that first name has to be there, last name has to be there, but middle name can be not made into mandatory. Okay, now what I did was basically I go to the first name, and there is something called as masked. Masked is something that we use so that other person cannot see this until and unless if they want to show it. Okay, I'll do masked as no. And there are different changes that we can do. Then I have saved it. Yes. So we will refresh the page. Now, can you see the first name as Virginia? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now what I'll do is I will go to BCUI. BCUI transaction code is nothing but manage business configuration. We go here. We'll go to manage business configuration. Once we go to manage business configuration, we get this. Any changes that we want to see here, we can do the changes from here. Okay. We want to make changes in the personal information. Now what we will do is we will go to the personal information. Okay. We will go to the first name. We'll search on details. Okay. Now in the details, what we will do is we will say must. Just for example, I'll tell you all the fields, what are the different fields that are there. And then just for the sake of understanding what this is, we will say must, we'll say yes. Then we will say done. And once you say, you always have to save it. If not, the changes will not take into effect. Okay. Once you change it, you have to go to the page and you have to refresh the page. Okay. Once you refresh it, what are the changes that you have made? It will come into effect. Now, can you see the first name? Aisha, can you see the first name?
No, it is not.
Now, can you see this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So these are the few of the information. Let it be address, your contact information, ID information, dependents, all this information, few of the information you can make changes from here. Say home address is there. Okay. You can add custom strings. You can add other information that you want. Okay. Now, only what we will see today is, next class, we will look into all these things. What are they and how we can make the custom changes. And along with this, we have to make the changes also along with that. Okay. Now we will go into personal information. We will look into the first name. What is this? Okay, what is the first name or the last name? Okay, so identifier is nothing but this identifies the first name. You can see this, the first name, last name, it identifies it. What you want to identify it. Okay, this is an identifier. Label is nothing but what you want to see here. In place of first name, last name, these are the labels that you want to see. Okay, do you want to enable this? Yes or no? Okay, some fields are hard coded. Say for example, first name, if you're not able to see your name itself, then it doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, few are things from SAP, they have hard coded and they have made it enable and they have made it non-enable. Okay, mandatory yes, default label if you want to make any changes. Okay, now we come here as data type as string. String is nothing but the longer name with alphabets and everything that you can add. Okay, type of reference object. We have discussed foundation objects, employee pick list. We will look into this in the next topic when we are discussing here. Here, what is foundation objects and MDF? Then we will come back to that session. Okay. Now, in the pick list, there is a child object and there is a parent object. What this is? Okay. Visibility, when I say edit, you can see and you can make the changes in the name. Okay, when I say only view, you cannot make any changes. When I say view, you will be only able to see this. Must, we have seen if you want to see this. Long read access. Okay, that is if the full name, if you want to be readable, say if some person has 4, 5 or 6 names and has, if you want to show that, and if you want to do not show that, okay, that you want to make. Okay, maximum length is 128 characters. Okay, so we'll say show trailing zone as nothing but zeros, how many if you want to show in the name. Importers, you have seen how we did the export of the file, employee export and import. You want to allow this information to be imported. Say for example, there are 100 and 150 employees in the company. If you say no to this, so while if they are importing the details of this employee's detail will not be imported from the system. Okay, it will not be imported. This comes under another module, that is compensation. Okay, so this comes into another session when we are taking HRIS sync and another, we will see these things. Okay, but very important thing what we have to see here is whenever we are creating a custom module, we have to give first the identifier what it is and what is the label. If you want to enable this, you have, if you want to make this mandatory or not, and then we select what type of data type or object we are selecting. These are the main and important things that we have to keep in mind while creating this. Okay, so it was one of the examples that I showed as to what are the changes that you can do in the BC UI. And to come to this page, the transaction or the place